Hey there, Ron Sullivan, your online hitting consultant. Thought I'd let A-Rod help us with the idea of ground force today and try to take a little bit of a unique approach here. So, hope you enjoy this. The ground force, basically, right, is the force that we use staying back, and that force into the ground, right, reacts back up through the body, which helps unload the swing. And the ground force shouldn't be confused with we're pushing it against the ground, but just the momentum that we use to or controlling our momentum into that front side and staying back will create this effect naturally. All right, so and then the red and a green, I think, are pretty obvious. Is the red is our pretty much shows where there's some resistance, a lot of resistance in this front leg, and it's not meant to demonstrate that we're trying to resist in the back hip, but it is trying to demonstrate that the back foot, right, is creating this release, and this back knee are creating the release that's going to eventually help drive the back hip, right? And so you can see as we work through this heat map, the green grows heavily on the backside as the backside of the player is being released naturally against ground force, and the red or the front side remains constant, right? This is a great use of the ground. This is exactly what it was meant to be, how it was meant to be used in a natural, athletic way. There's not many sports out there that make where you create an athletic move that don't use ground force. And for some reason, baseball has kind of created their own language with firing the hips and squishing the bug and so forth, that they thought that they were absent of all of the laws of physics that every other sport seems to be aware of. But so if you teach your players, right, the proper release mechanisms of how to use the ground and stay back, right, how to have freedom and no resistance in the upper half, right? Help unload or use the ground to help unload the upper half as we stay back. And this mechanism is free to move, right? And then, not to mention, if you want to release the back hip properly, right, you have to learn how to release the back foot. And the back foot releases the back knee, which works its way up as we see through the heat map here, so to speak, right? And so, look, this is just a simple demonstration, but I think that it helps for people that are learning how the ground is supposed to work, how the hips are supposed to work. Start thinking about this a little bit more in natural terms of athleticism and so forth, instead of we're going to do something with our back foot or we're going to do this with our hips. I think that you'll have players using that athleticism a little more naturally, and you'll get a lot more power out of your players. Again, this is Ron Sullivan, your online hitting consultant. Thanks again.